Hi, Scott Orland with CINEMA-Magazin. For the first time, Germany, I get to say these words, Warren Beatty. The movie, Rules Don't Apply. First of all, after 18 years, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
What was it specifically about this project that reinvigorated your cinematic energy?
Well, I think that my kids wanted to get me out of the house. I think that's the big thing, and I didn't want to be all over them all the time, and so I finally did this thing that I have kind of had in the back of my mind for a long time, and I met these two kids, Alden and Lily, who are just spectacular, and the whole idea of casting is so important in a movie. Sometimes you say, well, character is plot. Well, casting has a lot to do with character, so you could say that casting is plot. So some people bring a plot alive in a way that maybe somebody else would bring some other plot alive. And so
what's fascinating, though, is you took a character like Howard Hughes, who's very enigmatic. People don't know a lot about him. And you created like this fictitious world around him. What makes him a character after all these years that we're still fascinated by?
I think it had to do with the fact that he really wanted to control how he was seen. He wanted to not be seen most of the time, and then choose the times that he was seen, and to dramatize that in some way. And so I think that makes us more and more curious. It would be difficult for someone to do that today with the technology that we're dealing with, because everybody has a photograph of everything, and everybody can say whatever they want to say about anybody, whether it's true or false. So it's getting much more complicated.
And it's kind of the phrasing is write what you know. And this movie kind of starts taking place in the late 1950s in Hollywood, which is when you kind of started. So how much of the tone, of the look, of the nuances about auditioning and actors and actresses is relevant to what you experienced?
Well, as you say, the movie starts when I started in Hollywood, and in 1958, and that's the way it was, and some of it's amusing and some of it's not, but it's.
Do you have good memories of that time?
Very good memories of it. Yeah. I was lucky. I got an early start with a great director, Kazan, with a movie written by William Inge, a great writer. It was called Splendor in the Grass, and it was a successful movie, so I got a jump on my contemporaries, really. It was very lucky.
And one of the essences of the movie, without giving too much away, is the relationship with the father. That, that here was a man, he didn't want anybody to replicate his father. His father was somebody incredibly special to him, or whatever he passed along, and he talks about DNA and passing that along. So what did your father pass along to you? What, as a man today, what is that DNA inside of you that was your father?
I find myself avoiding questions like that because it would cause me to be reductive. If you ask me about a specific thing and ask me if my father helped with that, I could answer you. But for me, I want to be. I was very lucky with my mother and father. They were both educators, and I feel they did it right with me, and also with Shirley, my sister, and so it's a hard question for me to.
That makes it something easier then. Do rules apply to you, or are you a rule breaker?
I think I break rules when rules need to be broken, and sometimes rules become extinct. I think the rules that applied in relation to American sexual puritanism and the hypocrisy involved were pretty much broken during the late 50s, but really the early 60s, when feminism and what we call the sexual revolution occurred, and then what used to be rules weren't quite the rules that they had been.